A male ruler. What is a queen by definition? A female ruler. So why the would they make a movie called The Woman King?
So guys, today we are going to be talking about black men and a lot of disrespect that we receive by certain ladies in the community. And that disrespect might be because black men just don't speak up for themselves. Shout out to Lapeef Network because they had a particular stream and a panel, and Mr. Logic, as you know, was blowing it up. I want to talk about this excerpt in which they were discussing the Woman King and how disrespectful it was to black men, but he's going to also point out why black men get so much disrespect in the United States. Let's check it out.
Thank you so much, Angry Man.
I'm gonna say my piece. I'm gonna add to it. Angry Man kind of hit on it, but I'm gonna go ahead and come in with the knife in it. I didn't watch it because the name alone is insane. The name alone is The Woman King, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is king by definition?
Man.
A male ruler.
Mm-hmm.
What is a queen by definition? A female ruler.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So why the would they make a movie called The Woman King?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's why I ain't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not giving them my money.
Mm-hmm.
It's no such thing. It's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Blackout, man.
And that particular kingdom never had a ruler.
Hold on, let me clean up. Cause what if we start saying the mom dad? Is that possible?
No.
Or any stupid that they can come up with, right? And they really doing this to shit on the black male image. Show me one white, Asian, any other race, Middle Eastern movie that they could pick a woman as a king.
Mulan.
I don't even know what the fuck that is. A cartoon?
It's a
Yeah.
cartel. Yeah, but it's
Well, they don't do it. You know why? Because they understand it's disrespectful to your man.
Right.
That Liola Davis, that bitch, she's a terrorist. And then now, and I be the only one that keep it funky. Angry Man too, you know what I'm saying? Chaotic, and but you know what? Listen, Logic, what is it? There you go. She's an actual a unprofessional black woman hired by the U.S. government to serve in a position against black men and kids. This fucker is a murderer. And if we don't call it out, it's gonna get worse.
Now let me kind of get back into this whole, if we don't call it out, it's going to get worse. I agree. I like Logic a lot. I agree with what he was saying and what the Angry Man was saying prior to this. But there's one thing to, in calling something out and then putting the action to do something about it. Let me tell you about this. Malcolm X, one of our greatest leaders and debaters, was going across the world calling out racism. Going to debate at UC Berkeley, debating at Harvard, debating at Oxford, calling out racism. Want to know what happened? Racism was still going on. He ended up losing his life, and yes, don't get me wrong, the civil rights movement helped blacks. But ultimately, calling something out doesn't make it right. Let's talk about the things about black women that we don't like. We could be calling it out and calling out feminism, but if you call it out with nothing behind it, you don't get anything, right? How does the laws work? And I agree with what he's saying, but let's take it a step further. Building businesses, being in the industry, supporting your brothers, building a community of people with black men. working with your men to do other things to ensure that you're successful, caring about your issues. Calling it out is one thing, but the actionable items to create the black male communities that we need to sustain ourselves, that's it. Getting in the industry. The black male, like I said, even the content space, we're underserved. We're underserved in many things that we can be taken advantage of, but if we don't come together to do it, then we're going to be mistreated. Black women have, like I said, they have Black Girls Rock, they have Essence Festival, Ebony, and many times they have black men helping them. What do we have going on for us? And that is exactly why we are only able to call it out, because we can't deal with anything else. Of course, yes, we don't have the major corporations coming with us, but that's our job. Our job are to just care about our own issues. And so that Black Lives Matter don't have to come out there and care about our issues. Once black men start taking the infinite concern of where they're at and where other black men are at, we can do more than just call it out. Because every group that's powerful in the United States, the Jews ain't gonna call anything out. Arabs don't have to call anything out. LGBT don't have to call anything out anymore. Okay? Let's continue.
Because if you haven't looked at that other chick, and I don't mean to change the subject, I want to put this out. That ESPN analyst,
Malika Andrews.
they're getting bolder.
Yes.
They're getting bolder by the day.
Mm-hmm.
And as we sit back, as right now in 2022, in America, the weaker vessel.
Yep.
We don't want to call it out. We don't want to say it's we don't want to say no. I'm against LGBTQAG. I'm against this. We're scared. My job is high profile. And guess what? I don't give because what we gonna do? We gonna tell our kids we was silent while we watch fucking the world turn over?
Mm-hmm.
Women can do that. That's not an excuse for a man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's not an excuse for a man. I don't blame none of these women. Miss Take It, yeah. Too hot for you. You ain't ready for the truth. And you don't give a community enough to tell the truth.
Okay.
So guess what? Yeah. Do a Woman King part 2. Because guess what? If niggas don't speak up about it, they're going to keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
The level of disrespect. That's why these women, Charlie Brown school teacher, when Miss Take was talking, I was just hearing womp, 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 womp. Womp, 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 womp. And they mad at me. And I think Miss Taking a good lady.
Let me talk about this, right? It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. But what have you been seeing because of black women getting bolder? There's been a reaction to it. The reaction has been, and he's absolutely correct. Let's get the passport. Let's talk about Austin Holloman, the late great Charles Tyler. You got black men who are not even going to participate in the dating community anymore, in the black dating community. You have these people throwing mixers. Black men are not showing up, or they're showing up very late. So what has to be occurring instead of the call outs is a lot of guys are moving in silence. And I want to add to what the brother is saying. This is why we need more black men to be successful. All right? Let me tell you something. When you're successful, and I'm talking about, in this case, I know everybody's definition is one way or the other, but I'm talking about being financially successful, not only as the individual, but helping your brothers as the group. Once we're able to do that as black men, we're able to discern who's going to be involved in the communities and who will not be there. And I'm telling you, and I'm going to do a review on Brother Obsidian, that once you're able to do that, a lot of the arguments that we have are going to go away. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be perfect, but here's what's going to happen. A lot of women in the black community who are going to be there for you, and there's many of them that's going to be there if you're in the black woman, hey, they're going to be down with the cause. You're successful. You know what you're doing. We know how to lead ourselves, but you can't do it when you're, like you said, you're the weaker vessel. Individually, you might be doing very well, but what about the rest of our brothers out there? We have a lot of brothers that we're not even sharing information to. We're not even trying to help. And I understand you can't help everybody, and you know you have your brothers that want to get stuff for free, but a lot of black men, there's enough opportunity for everybody. Our brothers need to become successful. And when you are successful, you don't even have to tell nobody no. They just not even gonna be invited. But now if you're not being successful, how are you gonna be able to, have something to say, right? And I get it, we have individual black men, but we need successful black men coming together as a group. And I'm just building a little bit more on what the brother's saying, but he's absolutely right. These things need to be discussed and called out, but on a higher level, we need to have actionable items that bring black men together, that have talent, that have skill, that have network, that have knowledge. Shout out to brother Antoine Wade of Black Heights. I want to give a shout out to my brother here. He put me in touch with his realtor, for me to be able to do something. Brother Gabe A. They put me in touch with people like that. That's what we need. We need ownership. We need opportunities. We need to capitalize on those opportunities. And then when we come back to the community, then we can say this person is in, this person's not in our own communities. And once we can do that, problems will decrease. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy Shake Duke Jackson. Back with another episode of Fair Use. I'm out.